Shalom, family. Thank you, Praise Yah, for the super sticker. Y'all, you always know B Park 7007. Thank you for becoming a new channel member. You always know when the Heavenly Father has a hand in something, because it's almost like as he's taking down people, he is mocking them at the same time. You moved into these pricey neighborhoods, multi-million-dollar houses, and when the place goes up in flames, the fire hydrants don't have a drop of water. It runs out of water. And just imagine the price tag on those houses. The least they could do is get the water, working around there. It's not working. I bet you in neighborhoods where it's not quite as expensive, the water from those hydrants are working just fine. Boy, it reminds me of Hawaii, when the fires broke out in Hawaii and the island is surrounded by water, but the entire community went up in flames. So let's talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about it. So this came out A few hours ago, fire hydrants ran dry as Pacific Palisades burned. Now, they're saying this is the worst fire in LA history. That's what they're labeling this as. So it's been raging now for a while. So they've been out there trying to battle it, but how do you battle a fire and the winds are 100 miles an hour? You're really fighting a losing battle for real. And at this point, they can't do anything but stand and watch it burn. Now, according to recent reports, 1,000 structures have burnt to the ground. That's what they're estimating, 1,000 structures, and blaming a lot of it on rain, but I mean, the lack of rain, very dry conditions. And so, it's we had those kind of fires even in my state this past summer. Everything just goes up in flames. It's like a matchbook. So they're saying the hydrants are down in the Palisades. And they heard this over one of the radio communications from a firefighter. First, they noticed the water supply had dropped. And by 3 a.m. Wednesday, all water storage tanks in the Palisade area went dry. So the flow of water from the hydrants just completely diminished. So we had a tremendous demand on our system in the Palisades. We pushed the system to the extreme. 4 times the normal demand was seen in 15 hours straight, which lowered our water supply. Can you imagine? You have no water and this thing is raging and you haven't put out 1 ounce of this fire. Wow. Mm, mm, mm. Now, Donald Trump is blaming Gavin Newsom. He's calling him Gavin Newscum. I said, boy, I think I need to use that one, Donald Trump. Gavin Newscum is to blame for this fire. So, those two don't like each other. And of course, they're going back and forth, and, it is what it is. So they said city leaders face significant criticism on social media from residents as well as from developer Rick Caruso, who owns Palisades Village Mall in the heart of the West Side neighborhood. Caruso, a former commissioner. So he blasted the city for infrastructure that struggled to meet firefighting demands. Yeah, that's pretty sad. You spent millions on your house and now it's up in flames and the whole neighborhood may be gone. And y'all paid all that money to be there and the water supply is insufficient. I tell you what, the Most High wants this place gone, y'all. It is only one way to sum this up. He wants this location, this Palisades, he wants this place gone. There's no water in the fire hydrants, Caruso said. Though Tuesday night he expressed similar criticism in a series of live interviews with local television stations. The firefighters are there in the neighborhood and there's nothing they can do. Yeah, well, if the winds are blowing at 100 miles an hour, no, it's not going to be very much they can do. I don't care how much water they're spraying, it's really ineffective. We've got neighborhoods burning, homes burning, and businesses burning. It should have never happened. Well, it did. Okay, so LA City Council member Tracy Park, who represents Pacific Palisades, and she did a news conference and asserted her fury over the water supply issues. So the chronic underinvestment in the city of Los Angeles and our public infrastructure and our public safety partners was evident and on full display over the last 24 hours, Park said. I am extremely concerned about this. I'm already working with my team to take a closer look at this. I think we've got more questions than answers at this point. You know how silly you look? You got all those firefighters out there all this time just to run out of water. Just run out of water. And we know how expensive it is to live in California. Well, so they're saying that the city was fighting a wildfire in a hilly terrain with an urban water system. Actually, I bet you in an urban area, the water would not have ran out. As much as y'all keep criticizing where our people live, I bet you that water wouldn't have ran out. And that at lower elevations in the Palisades, the water pressure remained strong. Before the fire, all 114 tanks that supply the city's water infrastructure was completely filled. Mm-mm-mm. So the hydrants in the Palisades rely on 3 large water tanks with about 1 million gallons each. The first day ran dry at 4:45 p.m. Tuesday. The second ran dry at 8:30 p.m. The third was dry by 3 a.m. Wednesday. They ran through 3 million gallons of water and they have zero containment of the fire. I mean, just picture that in your head. 3 million gallons of water and you have contained the fire. You haven't. Just you have not contained this fire. It's contained at 0%. And they ran through all of that water. So those tanks help the pressure on the fire hydrants in the hills in the Palisades because we were pushing so much water in our tank line and so much water was being used, we were not able to fill the tanks fast enough. So the consumption of the water was faster than what we could provide, in the tank. In other words, the demand for water at lower elevations was hampering the ability to refill the tanks located at higher elevations because of an ongoing fire. They also face difficulty accessing pump stations, which are used to move water up to the tanks. Wow, it just sounds like y'all really dropped the ball on this one. And, I guess as long as that wind is blowing, you're going to go well beyond 1,000 acres. The utility on Wednesday was sending 20 tanks with water to support firefighters in the Palisades. And the tankers were having to reload at other distant locations. We're constantly moving that water to the fire department to get them as much water as we can. It's unclear how widespread the hydrant issues were. In November, the lack of water from hydrants hurt the effort to combat a mountain fire in Ventura County. I think I heard about that. I think I did. It had two water pumps that became inactive, the slow process to deliver hillside water. Caruso said also they ran unsuccessfully for mayor in 2022, contended that the challenges were avoidable. In this window into the systemic problem of the city, not only of mismanagement of our infrastructure is old, Caruso said. Caruso, who evacuated Tuesday from his home in Brentwood, said his daughter's home was destroyed in the blaze, and his family was waiting to hear from one of his sons who had also lost his home. Mm-mm-mm. Caruso said in an interview that several homes around his Palisades village and the shopping center were fully engulfed in flames, and his shopping center, which opened in 2018, suffered damage. On Wednesday morning, scores of buildings and homes in the Palisades were reduced to ash and rubble. We're feeling the very personal effects of this. I bet you are. I bet you are. But, you know, right now, y'all, they are literally helpless in this whole thing. They are helpless. They can't do a thing. And you know what? The reason, because the Most High is not going to allow them to put this thing out, y'all. He's not going to allow them. For one reason or another, this area, he wants this area cleared out, and it's going to be cleared out. Let's be real. It's going to be cleared out whether they like it or not. But I think that's the insult to injury. It's such an expensive location, and they have no water to put this thing. I can't get over that. I'm gonna have to look up what the average cost of the home in this area was, because I know it's got to be in the millions. Because when you look at those homes, for California, those are multi-million-dollar homes. Hmm. Well, you saw what he did to Paradise. Y'all remember Paradise, California? He burnt that entire town got burnt down. He took the whole thing out. Mm-mm-mm. They're not gonna rebuild. They always talk all that rebuild stuff. They're not gonna rebuild. When these disasters hit, they won't do anything. It'll burn down to the ground. They'll get on the news and talk about, they'll rebuild and this and that, and they never rebuild, y'all. This place is gone forever. It is gone. It's not coming back at all. All of those folks that lost their homes are gonna have to relocate somewhere else. And when something this massive happens, the insurance company's not going to pay out on 1,000 structures. They're not going to do it. You know why? Because if they do, they're going to go bankrupt. And they'll even tell you, we'll go bankrupt if we pay for all these structures. So they're not going to pay out on it. You watch. It's just a matter of time before they make the announcement, because I've seen similar disasters happen. People think the insurance company, because they've paid into it, they're going to pull through, and they're not. They're not. Look, we had Hurricane Sandy, and all those multi-million-dollar beachfront homes got destroyed. They literally got pulled into the ocean, all of them, right? I think like a few days after Sandy, they had to announce to these rich folks that thought they were going to get new homes built They had to tell them they weren't getting nothing. They could not afford to cover all those homes without going bankrupt. They would go out of business, they said, if they had to cover all of those multi-million dollar beachfront homes. So they were out of luck. They were out of luck. They did not replace nothing. And in this case, these houses up here in the hills of Palisades, those homes are never going to get rebuilt. They're not. And see, and they try to run out of states like California too. Those insurance company. Florida is not the only place they try to run from. They try to run from states like California too. So those folks, they are out of luck. They are out of luck, y'all. Mhm. Yeah. And it just goes to show you it doesn't matter who you are, how much you have, how much privilege you have up in here. A fire don't care about your privilege. They don't care about your home, your belongings. And, I did also read that so far 2 people are no longer here due to this fire. And I'm sure it's gotta be more than 2. I don't think it's just 2. You always have people that will evacuate, and you'll always have that segment of the population that think they can hold out, and maybe the fire will miss my house. I'm not leaving, and you can't fight a fire this massive. What are you really gonna do? You can't fight something like this. Mhm. Yeah, it's always good in the hood, Damon. That's the thing. Why do you think they keep trying to gentrify them? Because it's always good in the hood. Let's be real. Oprah's house is in Montecito, so she's not in this area. She's in Montecito. Mhm. Yeah. So, y'all, if it's in the Most High's will for this location to be gone, gone it is. It will be out of here for real. All right. So, Pensy Lola, thank you for the super chat. Peace and blessings. Thank you so much, sis. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Danielle Meyer, Shalom, Lisa. I wonder what the history of that area before them folks took it over. The Most High can plan and people better open their eyes. I don't know, but one thing I did see now, I saw a couple of people that said this area was very racist. I did see that. Just looking at comments, I saw that some people said this Palisades area of California was very racist, or, they've had some pretty bad experiences over there, which I'm not shocked. I mean, every square inch of this country is like that, to be honest with you. So, y'all, this don't look good at all. It is so bad, and we're freezing over here where I am, and unfortunately I had to step out for a moment to take care of some personal business, and and the wind was blowing at 40 miles an hour. We have gone through 9 days of wind that does not stop. Seriously, y'all, it does not stop. It is bone chilling, and it's like that daily. So when I look at the forecast, we still got days to go. It looks like there's wind every single day in our forecast. Okay. So it's crazy, the things that are going on in this country. And Like Big Levi said today, and we're just in January, y'all. And look at how this year, the Gentiles' New Year, because we know it's not our New Year. Look how the Gentiles' New Year has starting out. This is horrific what's happening. It really is. And I was listening to Big Judah when he was talking about January 10th. Well, on the 20th, it's going to be an alignment between Pluto and the sun. And that's on the same day as the inauguration. So there's a couple of events coming up, y'all, that we all need to keep our eyes on. Just remember one thing. This is our very first year. Pluto will be in Aquarius the entire year. It's not going to be moving in and out like it did last year. It's going to remain in Aquarius nonstop this year. So, yes, I think this year is very much going to be set apart, especially comparing it to last year. This is going to be very different this year. You can literally feel it. Hmm. So it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on with the weather and wildfires and everything. It's crazy. So, y'all, it's nothing for us to worry about. This is the judgment of the Gentile. This is not our judgment. It's their judgment. This is their turn. And remember, we're going to see things we never saw before. So, y'all, get ready. Keep the popcorn on ready. Seriously, keep the popcorn on ready, y'all. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here. And we'll definitely come back again on a different topic. Shalom, family.